Hi YouTubers, it's Fortune Cookie 45LC coming to you tonight with the subject of lubricizers. Now this particular one is an RCBS Lube-A-Matic, and what it does is it sizes and lubricates cast bullets. Now not all cast bullets need sizing, but if the mold throws the bullet larger than we want, because the bullet is larger than bore diameter, or for our revolvers, larger than the chamber throats, 1/1000 over is okay. But if it's bigger than that, we need to size the bullet. So machines like this will do that for us. Now what you see here is a Lyman hot plate that's underneath the RCBS Lube-A-Matic. Now it just so happens that the Lyman hot plate will fit Lyman lubricizers or RCBS. Now the purpose of the hot plate is when we use lubes that require heating because they're hard lubes, then we plug in the hot plate, and the hot plate will heat this and cause the hard lube to be softened enough that it'll function, so that when we put pressure in this chamber, the pressure drives the lube into the sizing die, and the sizing die will allow the lube to go into the grooves of the bullet. We'll show you that in a little while. But first, let me show you this. This is a Lyman 450 lubricizer. Now the problem is, you'll notice that the little hinge here actually sheared off the little bolts that it's supposed to go on. It just tore right off. Well, that's because we used this so much we wore it out. So someday I'll send this back to Lyman and let them refurbish it. But in the meantime, this is not a good idea when this handle shears off these pins. Let's just put this off to the side for now. I just want to show you that. I believe that Lyman doesn't call it the 450 anymore. They might call it the 4500 or something of that nature. But that's the Lyman model. This is the RCBS model. Now Seiko also makes a nice lubricizer. Now Seiko, S-A-E-C-O, stands for Santa Ana Engineering Company. They make a very good lubricizer also. But I have here the RCBS, and it's a very good one. So you'll recall that we cast up all of these 245 grain Keith 44 Magnum bullets. So I have here installed a 429 sizing die and a top punch to match the flat nose profile of the bullet. So we'll just go to a little bit of a telephoto here. And what you're looking at is the actual station where the top of the sizing die comes out of the chamber here. So the way this works is, now unfortunately when we cast these bullets up, we cast them 6 at a time in our Lee mold, or we cast them 4 at a time out of our Lyman Keith mold. Well, this was cast out of the 4-cavity Lyman 429 421 mold. So we cast them 4 at a time. But unfortunately we have to size them 1 at a time. So this takes a little bit of time to do this. But you just set the bullet on the station there. And then we lower the bullet into the sizing chamber, and that sizes the bullet. Now, a gentle turn of the pressurizing crank right here Give that a little turn, maybe 1/16 of a turn, and that will cause lube to be forced into the grooves of the Keith bullet. Well, the Keith bullet only has one groove. So you'll see that here, get this to focus, is the bullet that we just sized. And you'll see that all three of the driving bands are shiny from being sized to 429. Now the mold through the bullet at about 430 to 431. Now we sized it to 429, and then you'll notice the lube, which is a kind of a yellowish lube, has been forced into the Keith grease groove. And so this is a lubricated sized bullet. So we just keep repeating that. Put the bullet in, give it a little crank to the pressurizing handle, take it out, and we got here a sized, see the shiny driving bands and the grease in there. We'll just go ahead and go to telephoto again. See if we can show you that. And there goes the little crank of the handle. And here comes the bullet. There are the shiny driving bands, and there is the yellowish lube. Now this lube is called javelina, and it contains 50% alox and 50% pure yellow beeswax, and that works very well. We don't lead bores with that alox beeswax combination. But there are many lubes, and if we use a hard lube, then we would have the heating element running. So it's fairly fast once you get going. And like one of the YouTubers that made a comment wanted to know what the best way to size and lubricate cast bullets was, because he couldn't stand how messy and how slow it was to do this, how boring this kind of work is. Well, I'd have to agree. This work is a little boring, especially when you're sizing, lubricating 1,500 bullets. But you don't have to do all this in one evening. You could do like 200 or 300 in the evening, and then just stop, and this will wait for us for another evening. So the RCBS does a very nice job. And let's show you what we've done here. So here are our bullets that haven't been done, and here are the ones that we've done so far. And here are just some selected ones that were just taken out, just culled out every once in a while. So you can see how nicely these bullets have been sized and lubed. Apologize for that. I don't have someone else to run the camera for me. So once again, these were not carefully selected. They were just taken out every once in a while, so that you can see how nice a job that one of these sizer lubricators do. And these bullets are all ready to load. Now compare that with a couple of bullets that were tumble lubed. These are 255 grain that were tumble lubed and also coated with Johnson's paste wax. But compare these with that, and you'll see that the problem with tumble lubing is that our finished product isn't going to be really aesthetically pleasing. Whereas when we load these, the final loads will be very aesthetically pleasing. So for most shooters, that is an important aspect. We don't like to have our ammunition look like it's really poorly done, even though they're not. But it's a reflection upon our reloading. The tumble lubing is fast, and they work fine, but they just don't look aesthetically pleasing. Anyway, that's the sizing lubrication process. I've got some work to do here, so I'm going to go at it. YouTubers, have a very nice evening, and we'll see you on the next video.